Good afternoon, everyone. As usual, we are here on Thursday afternoon, 12 p.m. CST, with some interesting topic. As usual, every week we are coming live on all our social media channels on spot 12 p.m. CST to share our knowledge with our community. And today we are here with a very interesting topic. How do you retire rich? For anything, if you want to make things big, if you want to success, if you want to see the success in a big way, you need to start with a planning. So that's what we are going to cover today. Start now, retire rich, the power of IRAs for young adults. This session we are focusing more on young adults, so who just started career very recently, so how they can build wealth by investing every year with a small contributions. And with me, our tax director Abhishek is also here. Hi Abhishek, you can
Hello.
start the presentation.
Sure, sure, Anil. Thank you so much. And as usual, as you said, that we are here to focus on one new topic, and this is very, very important. Sometimes we think that IRA, what is the big deal about it, right? But believe me, this is kind of a strategy that that mostly people use for tax planning. So again, let me start. Welcome back, everyone, and it's a Tuesday at 12 p.m. So you know exactly that this is the time for another financial topic breakdown. Uh, when we talk about tax planning, and before we start, let me introduce a little bit myself for people who joined recent, who are new with us. So I'm Abhishek Gandhi, CPA and tax director at AG Fintechs. As always, I'm here to give you straightforward and actionable tips to help you build a better financial future. Today, as we mentioned, we are diving into a topic that might not sound you super exciting on the surface, but believe me, this is the secret of retiring rich. And it starts now while you are young. We are talking about the power of IRAs for young adults. As I said, you may think that IRAs really. Trust me, by the end of this video, you are going to see why IRA are like a financial superpower, especially when you start using them early. So grab a seat and a pen because what I am about to share could change your retirement plan. Let's go to first slide. Let's start with the basics first. The title here says it all starts now, retire rich. And the key here is start now. Time is your best friend when it comes to save for retirement. And the earlier you start, the less work you will need to do later. So, who's this for? We always think we all are still young, right? But today I want to focus more for people who are in their 20s, 30s, or even in early 40s. And you haven't started saving for retirement yet. Don't worry, you will still ahead in the game compared to the most. But we want to be way ahead in the game, correct? So if you haven't already started, then please start now. That will be better. So let's optimize those savings and get your money working harder for you. So individual retirement IRA, when we say IRA, that is individual retirement accounts. And they are one of the easiest way to build wealth over a time. Today I will cover like a traditional and Roth IRA both. So these are the two main types of IRA. For you can contribute up to 7,000 to either one. or even both. So as long as over you don't cross that limit. If you are married, your spouse can also contribute up to $7,000. And here is a kicker: you can contribute for 2024 all the way until April 15, 2025. So if you're thinking, I will wait till next year, you can do that, but please don't. You have more time than you think. But the earlier you start, the better. Because, as I said, your money will start working for you, right? Let's go to another slide. Tax advantages of traditional IRAs. So let's break down to the traditional IRA a little bit further. IRA first. The cool thing about this one is that it offers tax deduction today. That's right. Your contribution might actually lower your taxable income for the year, which is always nice thing, like a bonus, correct? However, there are some phase out rules to keep in mind. If your adjusted gross income, we call AGI, right, that is above certain limits, then the ability to deduct contributions starts to disappear. I'll give you an example. If you are single and participate in a retirement plan at work, this phase out starts at 77,000. But if you don't have a retirement plan, good news, there is no phase out. The other big advantage, right? So if you are in a higher tax bracket, those deduction can really make a difference. The more you save in taxes now, the more money you will keep in your pocket. Now, there may be some, what are the disadvantages? Somebody may think that, okay, there are advantages. We always talk about advantages. There are disadvantages if you think that way. So in traditional IRA, here is the catch: withdrawal from withdrawal from traditional IRA are taxable. So when you finally retire, whenever it gets mature or whenever you will withdraw, the withdrawals are taxable. So when you finally retire and start pulling your money out, you will be paying taxes on whatever you take out. And don't even think about touching that money before you age 59 and a half. Okay, if you do that, then there is a 10% penalty for your early withdrawals, unless there are some exceptions also, as usual, right? So unless you qualify for that exceptions, like using for higher education expense, or sometimes your first house and those kind of things. So these are the little bit limitations on that, but overall it's wonderful. It is a great idea to invest in IRA. Also, traditional IRA comes with a required minimum distribution. We call it as RMD. We know it as RMD. So RMDs, once you hit age 73, right, that means that IRS is eventually going to force you to start taking out money. See, some people are so wealthy, they may think that, okay, money is growing and it is, let it keep grow, so that my future generation will enjoy the growth, right? IRS don't want you to keep waiting. IRS don't want to wait, right? They want their tax money. So Uncle Sam will say, hey, come on, if you're 73, you have to withdraw, and that's called RMD. So the IRS will force us to withdraw some money, whether you need it or not. And of course, you have to pay taxes on the withdrawals. So that is a sad part of it. But we are talking about later. Right now, you can enjoy all the tax breaks. Now, when it comes to Roth IRA, that has a good advantage in this area, because Roth IRA is again, it's my personal favorite. With a Roth IRA, you don't get the tax deduction upfront. But so what I mean upfront means you will not get a tax deduction today on your investment when you invest it, but in exchange, your withdrawal in retirement are completely tax free. Yes, you heard it right. Isn't it a great thing? Because because after 20, 30, or maybe 40 years, your account is loaded, and that time you can enjoy tax-free withdrawal. Imagine getting at all the money at age 60 or 70 or whatever, looking at your account balance and realize that all of that money is yours, free and clear, no taxes. That's the power of Roth IRA. That is what I was telling you in the beginning of this session. So it's a huge benefit. Roth IRA are exempt from RMD. That means that if you don't need that money, you can let it grow tax free. You could even pass it on to your heirs, and they would still get tax free withdrawals after you are gone. I mean, but you know what I mean, right? So, plus, if you ever really need the money, you can withdraw your contribution, not earnings, your contributions, without a penalty at any time. So that is also another advantage. But ideally, you will let that money sit and grow. That's the best thing to do. Slide 7. We will go to the next slide. And the power of starting young, right? This is the power that I just said. That's the power of starting young. So let's get into really exciting part of it, that the power is in the starting early. I'll give you one small example. Okay, let's say you are age 22 and you decide to start putting 2500 into Roth IRA each year. Okay, if you keep doing that for 38 years, assuming that the return is just 5%, by the time you are 60 years old, your account could be worth 269,000. Bump that return up to 8%, and you are looking at now $500,000, $551,000. And here is a kicker: your total contribution over the years would only be $95,000. That much you invested, and you are getting, see, 5 times more. Just growth and tax free growth. That's the power of compounding. So, if you step up your contribution as you get older, you could be looking at much bigger nest egg by retirement. Starting small doesn't mean ending small, right? Today, if you start with 2,500 a year when you are 40 years old, maybe you will be contributing $10,000 or $7,000 or whatever it is, right? Whatever is the limit. So, what are the takeaways here? If you are looking for immediate tax saving today, the traditional IRA is a great option. But just remember, you will pay taxes later. If you are paying long, if you are playing long game, then what I mean is a long game in the sense you want to pay it. You don't want to pay taxes on the growth. Then want a tax-free withdrawal in the retirement. The Roth IRA is your best bet. Start as early as possible. The earlier you begin, the more time your money has to grow and compound. So, the bottom line: start now, where you are contributing traditional IRA, whether you want to do it traditional IRA or Roth IRA. The key is to get started today. Your future self will thank you. And when you are sitting on that bench in the retirement, or maybe on the cruise ship having that margarita in your hands. So that's the beauty of it. That's all for today's topic, folks. Uh, I will ask Anil to pitch in, and if I missed anything or he wants to add anything, thank you.
Yes. Thank
Thank you,
you.
friends.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you very much. And I appreciate your knowledge sharing all the time. And Roth IRA or traditional IRA, one of the great ways to build wealth. People has been asking many people, many of my clients and friends and families have been asking me, can I contribute to IRA even though I have a 401k? Can I contribute to IRA even though I have a higher income? My CPA told me I am not eligible for IRA. There are different questions, Q&As are there. So we might need to go. We will be doing one more session on this in more detail in the future. But IRA can be contributed even though you have a 401k, even though you have a higher contributions, even though you have even though you have income, even though your wife is not working, your spouse can contribute even though she is not working. So there are great ways to build wealth, but if you are not doing these IRA contributions for quite some time, please reinitiate it. And if you already have some existing rollover IRA accounts, my recommendation on the from the tax planning perspective, please reach out to your accountant or CPA, or reach out to us or send an email to us. We're happy to help you and guide you. And that's it. And if you have any more questions, we're happy to answer. I do see some questions. I will take it over. Ravi, can 529 roll over to Roth IRA or traditional IRA? Answer is yes, you can do it, but you need to wait for at least I think you need to wait for at least 10 years. In the next 10 years, if you are not able to use your IRA account balances for then for 529 balances, then definitely you should be able to roll it over to the Roth IRA up to the maximum of $35,000. There is a limit there. Okay. And if anyone has any more questions, feel free to post your questions in the chat box and any of the social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or LinkedIn. We are happy to answer your questions. And IRA is a great strategy. If you are not contributing to IRA, definitely I recommend you to work with your accountant or CPA, or at least reach out to me. Whether what level you are, you can contribute. You may not get a tax deduction because we have income threshold limits there. Still, if your incomes are high, if you cannot get the tax deductions, then there is one more concept called rollover IRAs, backdoor Roth IRAs. You can go and look into my earlier YouTube presentations on that. Definitely you should be able to find the answer for your questions. Yeah. And that's it for now, and thank you very much. And thank you, Abhishek, for sharing your
Sure.
knowledge as well. And I appreciate it. And thank you very much. Bye bye.